Hello, welcome to Pilates Matwork. So today's class, we will start standing. You don't need any props for today's class. Now, if you are a little bit more experienced with Pilates and your props, feel free to do this class incorporating props that you have at home, where you want to add a little bit more resistance, or if you just need a little bit more support in certain things. So I'm not going to teach any, but you're welcome to bring them in. So that being said, as just a general reminder, operate where your body needs you to operate. So if you need to take breaks, take those. I'm going to do set numbers and I'll count to that full number. If you need to do less, take breaks, and listen to your body. Remember, at the end of the day, your body is your best teacher. So from here, we are going to start with a little bit of movement since it's a little bit chilly today at the time of this recording. And then we're going to start with our traditional standing Pilates roll downs. So from here, I'm just going to stand feet about hip width apart. You can be a little bit wider. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of wiggle here for a moment. And once I've done that, I'm just going to kind of feel where I am in my feet. So can I have equal and even pressure in both the big toe and pinky toe mounds of the foot, the sides of the feet and the heels, just so I'm not collapsing into the inner arches. And then from here, I'm just going to roll those shoulders back. Just take it up, down, and around. It does not matter what direction you start with. We're just working on a little bit of movement and loosening up, and then just take that into reverse. Good. And then from here, since we're a little bit loosened up here, we'll just take this into some elevation and depression work. So elevation, you're lifting your shoulders up to your shoulders, and depression, you're taking them down. So elevation, depression, elevation, depression. Soft knees, elevation, depression, elevation, depression. One at a time, going to the right side, and lift and lower to the other side. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. The purpose of this is some scapular mobility. So just start to take one arm out at the side. So I've got a tighter left shoulder. It's the one that always gives me a little bit of trouble. So the movement will feel very different for me on that side than the other. Good. Now let's take that in the opposite direction. I think this is the opposite direction. Almost kind of like swimming. And I'm using my core here as I kind of rotate a little bit from side to side with this movement. Good. From here, let's take a big inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, take it down. Get into the heels and coming up and coming down. Come up. Maybe we pick up a foot a little bit, maybe a lot, and take it down. Other side. Good. So it doesn't have to be too high with the lift. You're just going where you feel stable. So I started small. Now I can take it a little bit bigger. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to kind of hang here for a moment. I'm just going to let my arms dangle from side to side. Good. One more little hip movement in here. So coming up, just take one little circle and then the other. And again, you're using your core to help you with your balance and support. You can also do this holding onto a sturdy piece of furniture or your wall, if you've got one close by. Good. So from here, just shake it, shake it, shake it. And we're going to come to the end of our space. So I'm going to change up where I normally go. I usually start these on that side. We'll start on this side today. It's always good to challenge the brain a little bit, even as a teacher. So you can have your feet about hip width apart or zipped up closer together or together. Choose where you want to be. My body works best today a little bit hip width apart. So from here, we're just going to start the standing roll down as a ragdoll variation. So a little softness in the knees. Find your neutral spine, so soft tailbone. Zip up from the pubic bone to behind the navel. Relax the shoulders. Big inhale. Exhale, I'm going to nod that chin. Good. And as I carefully peel down one vertebra at a time, I really want to take that belly button in there. And because this is ragdoll, I'm just going to let my arms go and do what they do. Put a bend in those knees if you need to as you fold. And then from here, get into the feet and the heels. Think about a downward pressure from hip to heels. And then starting from the tailbone, you're just going to get that articulation, one vertebrae at a time, stacking bone by bone. Good. Shoulders, chin, and head last to come up. Let's take a big inhale up overhead. Good. Let's open to the side, finding that little back bend. And we'll come up. Arms will stay by the ears this time. Inhale, exhale. So we're still looking for that C-curve scoop. Good. Take your gaze. Look where you're going. So after a lot of practice, I can keep my hips over my ankles for the most part when I fold. It took me years to be able to do that. So practice that. Try not to hinge the hips back. And bending the knees, because usually that's a result of tight hamstrings. Bending the knees as you fold forward will help you with that as well. And we'll open. Good. This time, arms are going to be up by the ears when we roll down and come down to the ground. We're going to make our way out into a plank. So big inhale, exhale, taking that down. Good. When you come to your limit, walk it out to your plank. Remember, knees can be lifted or grounded here, but notice your plank. So I'm pressing that floor away from me. I'm thinking about taking my heart up into my shoulder blades. I'm looking for a diagonal line from shoulder to ankle or shoulder to knee. This is not as downward facing dog. This is not a plank. This is not a plank. This is hanging in the low back. Okay. So really find your plank. Bring your knees down if you need to. And then from here, bending the knees will be easier than hinging from the hips, but we're going to make our way back to our feet. So in the way that you need to get there, you'll come get there. Think about stopping the hips over the ankles, maybe some softness in the knees, and then rooting into the feet. We're going to come back up. Good, coming up. We'll take that back bend again. Good, we're going to add on again. We're going to walk out into the plank. We're going to take some push-ups. So big inhale, exhale. Really scoop it in and round. Good. Walking it out to your plank. Knees lifted or grounded. Grounded will be a little bit easier for you. Elbows will come straight back. Good. Press once. Press twice. Lift. Bend the knees or hinge from the hips. Walking it back towards the feet. Stop the hips over the ankles. Soft knees. And then from here, good, we'll roll it up. Take your time to get there. I can move through a little bit faster, but you go to your pace. And then from here, we'll open. Good. Last time, we're going to come down. We're going to try for 4 push-ups this time, and then we'll stay down there. So big inhale. Exhale, we'll nod. And roll forward. Keep that belly button in. Good. Come to your limit. Walk it out to your plank. Good. You're going to be lifted or you're going to be grounded. Find yours. Good. And here we go. We've got 1, halfway down. 2, 3, 4. Whew, those are tough. Drop those knees. Press back child's pose. Maybe cupcake those fingertips. Good. We'll breathe and expand. And then from here, we're going to come forward. So in the way that's best for you, we're going to come to a seat. Good. Now, as you come to a seat, good. We're just going to do some half roll downs here, and then we'll roll all the way down and come into some other nice warm-up practices. So I'm going to keep a bend in my knees. My heels are not too close into the glutes, but they're not too far away, and I'm just going to hold right here behind my thighs. I'm going to zip up from the pubic bone behind the navel, belly button in. So I want a long spine here to start. And then from here, I'm just going to think about that C curve coming back. And I'm going to come back to my limit where maybe my arms lengthen, or I feel like my feet are going to fly up if I go back any farther. And then from here, good, I'm going to keep that C curve as I roll up. Once I come up and I feel where I am to where I started, then I'm going to Lift nice and tall. And we'll take that back. Good. Going to your limit. Good. Here's 2. I'm exhaling on the way back up as I round. Good. And then I'm going to lengthen. Inhale. Exhale, taking it back. Good. When you're ready, taking it all the way forward and coming all the way back up. Good. Do another one like that, or take your knees long. Now, I'm going to cue us to roll all the way back down. So you can have your knees bent, and then when you feel it's safe for you to release your thighs, you can take your hands to the side and support yourself here. But from here, I'm going to take my legs long in front of me. Arms are going to come long in front of me. Good. And then from here, starting from the tailbone, I'm going to roll it down. Now, being mindful here, if you've got inflexibilities in the spine, weaknesses in the core, you're going to go down a little bit faster in those parts like you just saw me do. So we'll take the knees into the chest when we get down there. Good. Feet are going to come to the floor. Good. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit of marching, and then we're going to go into some toe taps. So rolling the shoulders back. So get your nice space of support in the upper body, arms to the side. Good. My left foot is going to stay grounded. I'm going to really draw up from pubic bone behind the navel. My belly button is in tight towards the spine. I'm in my safe neutral. I'm going to lift right knee and lower left knee. Good. Now I am taking this all the way down to the floor. Good. Notice what fires up, even if it's a little bit subtle on one side to the other. Good. Now from here, we're going to go into toe taps. So from here, I'm just going to take one leg at a time into my tabletop position. So knees over hips, shins parallel to the floor. It is called toe tap, but we're not going to tap the toes. We're going to come into a toe hover. So as you move, and I'll show you this on the left side first, because that's the side facing you. You want to move from the hip, and you're keeping that angle in the knee. So as you see, I'm not changing that angle in the knee. I'm coming to my hover. I'm exhaling on the way up. So it's not this, okay? It's a different exercise. We're keeping that angle. And then we'll come back up. And then we'll go to the other side. And exhale on the way back up. There's 2. Maybe we can take this to 6. There's 4. 5. And 6. Good. We're going to up that ante a little bit now. So now, legs and feet are going to come together. We're going to double leg come into that hover. So, and we'll try this for 6 times too. So from here, good. We'll come and hover. 1, only moving from the hips. 2. 3. 4. So watch your low back here. You don't want it to arch. If it is, you're taking your feet too low. 5. And 6. Good. Bring those knees into the chest for a moment. Rock, rock, side to side. Good. Now, we're going to up the ante here a little bit with those. If what we just did is enough for you, you'll do that again. Those of you that want to add a little bit more challenge here, we're going to take the hands behind the head. Inhale, exhale. We're going to come up into a C curve. Good. And then from here, good. We'll take it 1. Take it 2. Take it 3. Take it 4. Good. We're going to pause here. I'm going to lower down for a moment. If that's enough for you, stay there. Again, if you want to make this more challenging, we'll add on. I'm going to take my knees over towards my left. Good. And then from here, inhale, exhale. I'm going to C curve it up. Good. And then maybe I tap at an angle or come to hover. And we've got 1, And 2. And 3. And 4. Woo. Take the knees back, lower down. If you need a little bit of a break with those legs, take that into the chest. Otherwise, when you're ready, stay center, or we'll take those knees over to the right. Inhale, exhale, maybe lifting up. Good. And then from here, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo. Take that down, take that back to center, and we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. All right. We're going to go into a dynamic twist here before we go into some other work. So knees are going to come back to tabletop position. Let's take the arms out to the side or roll your shoulders under. Good. Now zip up nice and tight. You're still in that safe neutral. From here, we're going to hover. So we're going to come to the left. We're going to hover and use the core to come back center. And to the right, hover and back center. And to the left. And center, and to the right, center, one more time, to the left, center, to the right, center. Stay with those 2 more times. Those of you that are more advanced, take your legs long. We'll come into the pendulum. If you are super tall, this is going to be super challenging. So be mindful. So we're going to come over to the left and center, to the right, and center, to the left, center, right, center. Good. From here, we're going to bend the knees. We're going to take it over to the left, take it all the way over to the left, and get a nice stretching, maybe looking to the right. Breathe and expand into that rib cage. From here, head will come back to center. You can take one leg at a time back to center or use your abs to bring you back into center. And then we'll take that all the way over to the right. Good, maybe looking to the left. Breathe and expand through that rib cage. So as that general reminder, if you are in a twist, any twist, and you find that you cannot expand through the rib cage, that's an indication that you're too deep into your twist. So you always want to be able to breathe and expand. And then from here, head back to center, one leg at a time, or using your abs to bring you back in. Good. Bring the knees in, take hands to the knees. Just make some little circles here. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We are going to take the knees in. We're going to do a roll. We'll start with basic, and then I'll give you an option to add on here. So you can hold at the shins or behind the thighs. Make sure you want to get into the habit of using core and breath, not swinging the legs around, okay? So big inhale, exhale, I'm going to nod my chin. Good. And I'm using my core, and I'm using my breath to rock. Good. And I'm trying not to roll back on my neck. I am looking for a little bit of a balance when I come up. Good. Now, you can stay here. You can take a break. Maybe we rock with one leg. Woo. Coming all the way back up. Good. And then maybe we switch. Now I did a mid-air switch. Everyone will switch a little bit differently here. Good. And then from here, we'll take that back down. Good. Bring it back in. Rock, 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 side to side. We're going to take the feet down here for a moment. So reset yourself. We're going to come into some bridging. So rolling your shoulders back. Hips, knees, and toes are going to track. Good. We're going to rock that pelvis back. And we're going to peel up one vertebrae at a time. Good. And then from here, just kind of notice how you feel. And then from that mid-back, we're going to lower down through center, one vertebrae at a time. Think about lengthening from crown to tail just a little bit more when you come down. And we'll take that again, rocking it back, taking it up, and taking it down. Good, and you can make these as challenging as you want. So slower is oftentimes more challenging, not often thought of that way. Some people think that's easier, but that's not always the case. Good. So we're going to come up one more time here. When we come up, we're going to hold it up there. Good. From here, when you're ready, really engage into the glutes. We're going to lift the left leg. Good. So we're in this march, and we're going to tap, and march, and tap, and lift, and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Foot stays grounded. Reset through the hips. Remember, come out of here if your body needs you to come out of here. Same thing on the other side. Good. Right knee's going to come up. Good. And we'll lower and lift and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower and lift. Foot comes down. Even up. Everybody dips just a little bit. Nice and tight through the core. And we'll roll that down. Once you come all the way down, take your knees back into your chest and rock side to side. We're going to come into a little stretch here. This might make something that we do in the series of 5 just a little bit better for a lot of us. So I'm going to take my right foot down. I'm going to take my hands behind that left leg, and I'm going to let them travel up as high as they can go. Good. And maybe we want to get a point and a flex here with the foot. Maybe rolling that ankle in one direction and then in the other direction. Good. From here, I'm going to leave my left hand right where it is. I want both hips and both shoulders to stay grounded here. I'm just going to let that leg come out to the left. Good. So if your right hip is popping up, really think about anchoring through the right side. Another thing you can do is let that left leg come up a little higher. So you want to be anchored on the opposite side. Some of you will stay. Some of you are going to tug in gently towards that left shoulder. And then from here, we'll release and we'll come all the way back up. Good. From here, we're just going to release that foot. And I'm actually going to release it, and I'm just going to do a backwards pedal here. So this wasn't part of my plan, but sometimes the universe has a better one, and our bodies are made to move. So we'll just move. Good. Let's just take that in the opposite direction. So turn this into core work. Really tighten up. Really reach. Good. And then from here, we'll take that foot down. We're going to take that into the other side. So now your right leg's going to come up. Hands are going to come behind that right leg. Travel up as high as you can go. Good. And then once you're here, just point and flex through that foot. Good. Maybe rotate that ankle in one direction. And then in the other. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We're going to keep the right hand on the outside of this leg somewhere for support. Really anchor through the left side as we take this right leg out to the right. So you can stay here. You can tug in gently towards that right shoulder. We'll bring that leg back in. We'll bend that knee. Here we go. Reverse. Taking it down and up. Good. So nice and tight through the core. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll reverse that pedal. Going in the forward motion now. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good, we're going to take that leg down. Good. I'm going to extend my right leg long now. Good. And I'm going to take my left leg up. Now, some of you might need still, even though the leg's longer, maybe you need a little bit of a bend in that right knee here too. That's okay. But from here, we're really going to zip up. I want you to really anchor into both hips. So this movement stays in the hip socket and activates your core to control your hips. So you can also find a little bit more stability here if you take your arms out to the side. But we're going to start little circles. maybe we take this into a little bit bigger. So the smaller the circles, the more control you'll find. The larger the circles, the more challenging you'll find from a core perspective. But all of them work the hip muscles really effectively. So let's reverse that. So I'm just going to go to the same size I started with. You're still breathing, you're still expanding. Good. And now I'm going to start to bring that into a smaller circle. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, just bring that in. Take that leg long for a moment. Good. Keep it long or put a little bend in the knee. Good. We're going to take the right leg up. Now we're going to do the same thing on both sides. So I'm not as stable on this side. So I am going to put a bend in this knee. So really anchor through both sides. Find your support with your arms if you need to. And then from here, good. Just start with a smaller circle. Doesn't matter what direction you start. We're going to do both directions. Good. So I have pretty good body awareness, and my body's telling me that a wider circle on this side is not wise. So I'm going to stay here. Now, if you're okay with taking a wider circle and you've got that connection and your hips are staying grounded, then you can take that there. But I do try to practice what I preach, especially when I know I'm being recorded, right? Good. So from here, whenever you're ready, just reverse directions. Good. Maybe going into that smaller circle. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. Just bring in that knee. Take that leg long for a moment. Both knees are going to come into the chest here, and we're going to rock, rock, rock. Okay. From here, we're going to go right into our series of 5. So from here, feet can be grounded. You can bring in one knee at a time, or follow me, tabletop knees. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, C, curve it up. Good. Your gaze is to your thighs. I'm going to start by bringing in this is my left knee first, right leg long. And then I'm going to switch. And here's 2. We'll take it to 12. You stop where you need to stop. Here's 4. Hips stay grounded. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Knees are going to come in for a moment. I'm going to lower down as I take my legs up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, I'm going to see curve coming back to the left leg. The right leg's going to come long. Try to pulse only the leg that you're holding on to, and it's harder than it sounds. So we'll pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Woo. I'm going to bring my knees in. I'm going to lower my upper body here just for a moment. I'm going to keep my knees where they are. Big inhale. Exhale, nod the chin. Double leg stretch from here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come in. And here's 2. And 3. Watch the pelvis. 4. Stay in neutral. 5. 6, the lower you take your legs, the harder it is. 7, but not at the expense of neutral. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We'll bring that down. I'm going to wiggle here for a moment. I'm going to take my head to the right and to the left as I take my legs up to the ceiling. You can do this one in parallel legs or in an external rotation for a little bit more inner thigh, which is where I'm going to try to work today. Upper body can be grounded. We're in the C curve. So I'm going to take hands behind the head here for my C curve. Inhale, exhale, taking it up. Again, watch your pelvis. Stay in neutral. We lower. Exhale, lift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, with a smile, 10, 11, and 12. Those were tough. Take the knees back in, lower down. Crisscross, feet can stay on the ground, just working upper body, or you'll take your knees back in a tabletop position. Hands are going to come behind the head here. Remember, we're leading with the shoulder, not with the elbows. So we really want to come up and rotate. So from here, zipping up, big inhale, exhale, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, and 12. Woo! Take that down, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Take your feet down to your floor. Take your feet maybe about as wide as your mat. Good, I'm gonna take my arms up overhead. I'm gonna let my knees go to my right as I take my arms to my left. Breathe and expand here. Good, taking it back to center. Inhale, exhale, knees to the left, arms to the right. And coming back center. Good. You may roll over to your side, come to a seat, or through rolling like a ball, we're going to transition into a seat here. So from here, I'm going to lift. Okay. I'm going to come all the way up. Maybe we can hold a balance. As we hold a balance, could we hold it longer? Could we play here? Could we take one ankle and then the other ankle and take a leg out? Core is working hard here. You're in a balance. Could we go to the other side? Core is nice and tired. I know it. Could we take both out at the same time? Good. Inhale. Exhale, bringing it down. Let's take both legs long, actually, to the side. We're going to take them out wide to each side as we come out of that balance. Good. Nice and tall. Big inhale. Exhale. Let's hinge and fold. Just getting another little stretchy break in. Breathe and expand through that rib cage. Keep your knees soft if you need to do that. Good, and then when you're ready, you're gonna walk it back up. Great work. So from here, I'm gonna stay facing you, but you're gonna take your feet about as wide as your mat, okay? So maybe a little bit wider than hip width apart. Good. So and we'll sit into an anterior tilt here too. So think about taking the tailbone behind, hip bones are gonna come forward. Good. From here, I'm gonna inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, I'm gonna get a side bend to my left. I'm just gonna reach and coming up and take it to the right. Sits bones stay grounded. Allow for the stretch. Go right into the other side. Good. Now, if you're newer or you like this support, you like how this feels, stay with this one. Those of you that want a little bit more challenge, take hands behind the head, and then we're just going to side bend here. So whether you're taking your arms down or you have hands behind the head, can you think about squeezing the low rib cage and the top of the hip together? Good. From here, we'll come back up. Hands are going to come behind the head for everybody. Good. Just relax the shoulders, relax through your knees, and we're going to go into rotation. So coming to my left and to my right. Hips stay grounded. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. One more time. Left, right, left, right. Good. Coming back in. Good. Now I am going to turn sideways just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better here. We're going to go to spine stretch forward. We'll do this the more traditional way, and then we'll add on an extension here in a moment. So find that anterior tilt of the spine if you lost it. So tailbone comes back, hip bones come forward. Arms are going to come long here. Let's just do a little bit of scapular mobility. So in the beginning of class, we did elevation and depression. This time we're going to do protraction and retraction. So protraction, think about kind of like protruding forward. So I'm going to protract forward, kind of out of the pockets, and then I'm going to retract, coming back into the pocket, and protract and retract, and protract and retract, protract, retract, protract, retract. Good. Just be at ease. Good. So now from here, big inhale, exhale. Think about you've got a rope around your waist. You're folding over the rope. So we're not hinging forward. We're rounding. Good. Think about that standing roll down we did at the beginning. Good. When you've come to your limit, the ears are going to be by the biceps. Starting from that tailbone, we're going to roll it up one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way back to a seat. And we'll go again. Big inhale. Exhale on the round. Inhale to pause. Exhale as you come back up. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale and exhale, coming back up. Relax your shoulders for a moment. So now, when we roll forward, we're going to lengthen an extension, and then we're going to round and come all the way back up. We'll do that one 3 times as well. So from here, we'll come up. Big inhale, exhale. Good. Find your limit. Once you're at your limit, inhale, exhale. I'm going to reach and extend, long spine. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to round. I'm going to round all the way through, coming back up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. Inhale, exhale, rounding it all the way up. Good. One more time. My shoulders are getting tired too. Inhale, exhale, round. Inhale, exhale, extend. Inhale, exhale, round all the way through. Whew. And we'll just relax. Good. From here, let's do 2 rounds of saw. So putting all of those things together, remember hip bones stay grounded, arms to the side. Inhale, exhale, I'm going to rotate to the right. I'm going to round and reach, and coming back up and to the left. Round and reach, coming back up to the right, round and reach, coming up to the left, round and reach, and coming back to start. Whew. We're going to take that down. Good. I'm going to cross at my ankles. I'm going to come forward, and I'm going to come belly down here. So I'm just going to make my way onto my belly. Good. I'm going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. So from here, we're going to do just a few bigger extensions, and then we're going to do some more work here. So lengthen. I'm going to take my hands forward into the side of my shoulders. I'm going to let my elbows relax. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the low body. Belly button is in. Pubic bone is into the mat. Good. Maybe you lift a little bit. Good. So we don't want any crunching in the low back. If you feel that you're up too high, maybe you come a little bit higher. Be supported in the shoulders. Shoulders are down. We're not hanging in the low back, which is this. We want to be supported there too. And we'll lower. Good. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button in. Pubic bone into that mat. Keep it little. Maybe medium. Maybe a lot. And slowly we'll come back down. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Arms are going to come forward here. Palms can face each other or face the ground. That's going to be up to you. We're going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the low body. Belly button is in. And then from here, maybe we lift the lower body and lower down. Good. Let's do that a couple more times. Big inhale, exhale, lengthen and lift, just lower. And come down. And one more time. Good. From here, we're going to lengthen. We're just going to take it into the upper body. Inhale and lower. And lengthen and lift. And lower. Lengthen and lift. And lower. Upper and lower body together if you can. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button in. Good. And we'll lift. And lower. Lengthen and lift. Lower. Shoulders in their pockets. Lengthen, lift. Hold the lift. Now go into a little swimming. So you want to try not to rock side to side. So you're looking for that control. Smaller movements will give you that control. Breathe. And from here, we'll come down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If you need to take your hands under your shoulders and press back into a child's pose here for a moment, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we're going to take our arms out to the side into a T. Good. So I'm lengthening here. My belly button is in. Arms only are going to lift and come down. And lift and come down. And lift and come down. From here, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. We're going to lift. Take it back to the hip. Back out to the T. To the hip. To the T. To the hip. To the T. Lower down. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Here we go. We're going to put a whole bunch of things together. So from here, lifting upper body or upper and lower body together. You're lifting the arms. Good. And we'll lower and lift. Lower. Lift. To the hips. To the T. To the hips. To the T. Take it all the way forward. And all the way to the back. One more. And reach forward and come down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Take your hands under the shoulders. Press back. Child's pose. Moving forward, coming a side lying here. Good. So from here, a couple options. You can be here on the forearm. If you're here on the forearm, you want to be supported in the shoulder, so you don't want to hang like this. Good. Use that scapular strength and movement that we've been working on. Good. And you want to lift up through the rib cage. So we don't want to hang down here. We want to be lifted. This is my kind of janky shoulder. So I'm going to come down here. Bottom knee can be bent, or for more challenge, both legs can be long. So find where you can be on your hip bone here. Good. So this hand can be anywhere you want for more challenge, or maybe it needs to be here for more stability. But from here, I'm going to flex that top leg. Good. So toes, knees, and hips are going to face the front, and I'm going to lift. We've got 8, 7, 6. Feel the body lengthen just a little bit more when you bring down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. From here, now I'm going to take hip, knee, and toe. I'm going to turn towards the ceiling. Foot is facing the ceiling. I'm going to come up. I'm going to bend that heel, and I'm going to drag. And I'm going to lift, bend, drag. Here's 3. Good. Pause. We're going to reverse that. Bring it up. Lift and close. Drag it up. Lift and close. And drag, lift, and close. Good. From here, keep hips, knees, and toes facing forward. We're going to go to heel toe taps. So heel to the front. Good. You're going to rotate. And as you move through the middle, toes going to come to the back. And heel and toe. And heel and toe. Watch the pelvis. Try not to move it around. Keep it in the hip socket. and heel and toe and heel and toe. Good. From here, bring this knee in for a moment. Pat something out. We're going to go into a quad stretch from here. So from here, I'm just going to bend in my bottom knee so I have a little bit more support and stability. I'm going to bend in my top knee, grab the shin, the ankle, the foot. Good. And then from here, squeeze that left glute or whatever leg's on top. Good. And then take that back for a moment. Breathe and expand. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll carefully release out of there. Good. And then from here, we're going to go into a little bit of a diagonal teaser. So from here, good. I'm going to come up onto my forearm. Good. I'm going to lengthen and I'm going to reach. I'm going to reach, reach, reach. I'm going to rotate. You can bend your knees in or you can take your legs long. And then I'm going to lengthen. And here's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Woo. Good. We'll bring that down. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Bring your knees in here. Good. And we're just going to sit and we're going to get into a little bit of a shoulder stretch before we take this to the other side. So arms are going to come to the side. Good. And just maybe take them behind you just for a moment. And then take them forward. Clasp the hands, press away and round. Good. And then from here, we'll come back up. Reach, reach, reach. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Tricep stretch number 1. Bend the right elbow. Good. Get that little stretchy. And come up. Other side. And come up here. Good. Taking this down. Now we're going to come over to the side. And we'll do side lying on this side. So you can be up on your elbow or down on your shoulder. So I'm going to try elbow on this side since this side wants to be a little bit stronger. So bottom leg can be long or you can bend it. You choose. Good. We're supported in the shoulder. We're supported in the rib cage. Good. We're going to flex this leg. We're going to lift. 8. Good. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. From here, I will see if I can do it this way today. Good. Toes, knees, and hips are going to turn up. Good. We lift, bend, and drag. And we'll lift, bend, and drag. Lift, bend, and drag. We're going to reverse that. Drag it up, lift, and lower. Drag, lift, lower. Drag, lift, and lower. Whew. Bring in that knee. Good. I'm going to lower down here. Maybe pat something out. And we're going to go into the quad stretch on this side. Oh, I know what we forgot. We forgot heel toe tap. Let's go do that first. Good. So toes pointing towards the ceiling. Again, really connect into the core. Think about that pelvis. Heel forward. Turn toe to the back. And heel and toe. And heel and toe. And heel and toe. And heel and toe. Internal, external rotation is what this is working. Good. Whew. Now bring in that knee. Now it feels like it wants that stretch a little bit more. So from here, just lift, grab along here where you need to grab. Good. Be mindful where you need to be. Zip up through that front body. Good. And take it back a little bit. Breathe. Always breathe through a stretch. Good. Now we've got those side teasers coming here. So remember, you can bend your knees as you come in, or you can keep your legs long. It's all about where you need to be for your level. So from here, we'll start long. Inhale, exhale, you're going to roll and lift. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. Whew. Taking that down, lengthening, and carefully coming up. Good. As we come up, we're going to go into mermaids here. Good. So sit how you need to sit here on your side. Good. So remember, this opposite hip here is not going to perfectly anchor down for almost everybody. So try not to force it to do something it's not ready to do. But from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, we'll take it down. Release, side bend. Inhale, exhale, come up and counter over. And take it over into the side bend. And we'll come up and we'll counter over. Good. One more time. And taking it over. Good. From here, as you come up, take it down. Maybe you can rotate. Woo. Just holding that rotation and twist for a moment. You should still be able to breathe and expand here. And when you're ready, we're going to open and we'll come up, take it over, maybe counter rotate here. And we'll come up and come here. Good. I'm just going to switch my feet over to the other side. So sit how you need to sit here, remembering this hip won't perfectly anchor down. And then when you're ready, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, taking it over. Nice side stretch. And come up and taking it here, nice counter stretch. And taking it over and moving through. Good. I think we'll do it one more time. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll take it down. We'll rotate if you can. Breathe and expand. Good. Opening up, moving through center, and maybe counter rotate. Good. And then we'll come up. We're going to come back to our planks now. So as you find your plank, remember you can be knees down or you can be up high. So practice where you need to be. Good. And let's take the feet slightly, at least about hip width apart here, or the knees, depending on where you're going to go. Good. So I'm holding my plank. I'm breathing. Good. Trying not to shift the hips. I'm going to lift the right leg. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Left leg. 3, 2, 1, lower. Right leg. 3, 2, 1, lower. Left leg. 3, 2, 1, lower. One more. We can do it. 3, 2, 1, lower. Belly button in. Last side. 3, 2, 1, lower. Drop the knees. Child's pose. Good. We're going to go into push-ups here. So you can be up high or you can be grounded. I'm going to be grounded on these. And you've got the option to do the same kind of push-up that we did in the beginning. So that's a tricep push-up. Elbows are into the body. They go straight back. Remember, we're only doing half push-ups here. Or you can follow me. So I'm going to take my hands a little bit more internally. You can also do this one on all fours if that's where you need to be. But I'm going to be back here. And again, we're going to try for 5. So whenever you're ready, big inhale, exhale 1, exhale 2, exhale 3, and 4, and 5. And notice how it's a little bit more challenging when you exhale on the down versus the up. So take a little break. We're going to do that again. We're going to do that with the breath on the exhale on the way back up. So you can do it the same way You can do it different. I'm going to choose the same way. Good. So from here, take a big inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3, 2, and 1. And take it back. Notice if it's easier or harder for you or about the same. I noticed a little bit of difference. Good. Whenever you're ready, good. We're going to walk it back up here. Good. Tricep stretch number 2, taking both arms up overhead, touching palms together, bending those elbows straight back, ears and biceps and elbows are kind of squeezing in. And we'll release and come down. Find your plank. Then find your downward facing dog. Good, and just walk the dog here. Get a nice little stretchy down that back side of the body before we make our way back up to standing where we started. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, bending the knees or hinging from the hips. We're going to walk those hands back towards the feet. Get into all 4 corners of the feet. Let yourself just dangle here for a moment. Shake that head, yes. Shake that head, no. And then when you're ready, that downward pressure from hips to heel, starting from the tailbone, we're going to ragdoll it up. So arms are going to be this loosey-goosey. Pulling all the way up. Shoulders, chin, and head are left to come up. Let's take a big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale and open into that final back bend. And we'll reach. Good, take it down. Pressing up, reach, reach, reach. Turning palms away. Growing taller from crown to tail. Rolling shoulders back. Notice a nice, long, tall posture. Good. And let that posture carry you for the rest of your day, the rest of your week. I hope you had a good workout with me with Pilates Matwork today. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.